you're managing spring training. You know, it's early in spring training. How do you make up a lineup? Like, how do you decide who's playing and for how long and who's getting in? I'm always interested in those decisions, especially once we get to innings, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of guys in camp. You try to balance it as equally as possible, knowing that you got to get your guys ready. And we have a pretty good sense of who's going to go to St. Pete with us, and we're going to get them ready. But we can also balance that with the workload. And spring training's long. We've said it for many years. It's really all about the pitcher's buildup. I think most position players would sign up for about 10 games and say, let's go play. But
Right.
That's not what we have, so we got plenty of time.
So between us, like, how long does it take you to know everybody? And do you know everybody?
This year's a little different just because our clubhouse is like a mouse maze. We're spread it out because of protocols, and trying to find guys for Eric and I to talk to in the morning has been challenging. But we definitely we kind of pride ourselves on just having casual conversations, even if it's out left field shagging or off a bullpen mound, whatever it is, just to welcome and make sure everybody's trying to feel as comfortable as possible.
Kevin, we had Brett Phillips mic'd up for an inning. He was absolutely hilarious. How would you describe him?
He's pretty funny. Did he tell you guys about the boat story when he came down for spring training? Oh, yeah. So he's staying at this house, and his guy's got a boat, and he's never driven a boat a day in his life. But his landlord says, yeah, take it out. He pulls 10 feet from the dock, and the boat motor, like a cannon, goes off. He blows the lid on the boat motor. So he's paddling the boat back. But here's the best part. Brett Phillips, being who he is, he took the boat out the next day. So he's a beauty. The guy's entertaining. What a big hit he came. Big moment in baseball and Rays history, all of the above. So I'm glad that he's enjoying it, and people are getting to see his personality, the personality that we've got to see now for a couple months.
Sometimes.
Kevin, what are your thoughts about, like, already in this game we've had a mercy rule situation where the inning ended before there were 3 outs. Are you okay with that? What's the thinking there?
I personally am. I think baseball could have done this, a while ago. I understand why we haven't, but we're here to get major league players ready for opening day and regular season. And sometimes it's a little challenging with pitchers to get them built up. And, a guy goes out and throws 25 pitches. Normally, that's it. His day's over. But if you're trying to get 4 or 5 innings out of the guy, to be able to shave it off and send them back out, I think it's a huge benefit. And with the protocols in place, we're trying to limit, overall players traveling on the road. This allows us to do that a little bit better.
I know you use a full roster during the season, but Wander Franco, what are the plans you guys have with him, and what has he shown you this spring training so far?
Well, there's no doubt. He's a special player, very talented. The whole baseball world knows him. I think the most important thing for Wander, and I trust our guys, the decision makers will do this, is we got to get him playing. And he worked really hard at the alternate site. He was in the bubble with us in the postseason. We got to see him a lot. But he just turned 20 yesterday. He's got to go play and get as many consistent reps as possible. But, his talent is pretty undeniable. You watch him run. I mean, today, the ground ball, he's flying down the line. You watch him throw and certainly hit. He's just got a chance to be a special player.
What was it like, Kevin, in the offseason, knowing how close you came, knowing a lot of the focus was on the Snell decision? How'd you handle it? How do you bounce back from that?
Well, it made for a little bit longer offseason just because we care so much about our guys, our decisions that we make. We want to make the right ones. You get so close and just fall a little bit short right there. But, like I said right after the game, I can appreciate and understand all the criticism. You try to make the best decisions. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but it doesn't make you sleep any easier because, like I said, we care so much. It was refreshing to get back in a dugout in a baseball uniform, not to move past it. I'm not looking to move past it because I don't think we'd want to. We got to Game 6 of the World Series, so you don't want to erase any of those memories.
Sure.
You want to appreciate them all. But it was good to maybe have that decision subside a little bit in your mind.
Yeah, and you and I talked earlier before the game started. You had said, "Look, I would do it again. It was the right decision. It was a bad result."
That's how I felt, and I can understand the people that say no, it was a wrong decision, and it was a bad result on a wrong decision. So we can appreciate all that.
Sure.
Look, they're tough, but yes, to answer what you said, given the information and the thought process that we had, I would feel comfortable making that decision again and just keep my fingers crossed and my eyes closed that something else happened.
Right. Maybe for people at home to know what went into the decision or even future decisions, like what does I hate to say the book say, but what leads to decisions like that?
Yeah, it's not really a book. It's just like we put an emphasis and a priority in our organization of valuing that third time through.
Right.
So we're valuing that. I value that, and then you add another layer that Mookie Betts and Seager and Justin Turner had just seen Blake 4 days ago.
Right.
And we all know how talented those guys are. Blake could not have pitched any better. He was just awesome. He was outstanding for us. And the last thing that you wanted for people to construe was that there was a lack of confidence in Blake. No, there wasn't. There was plenty of confidence in Blake. I just had a lot of confidence in Nick and our bullpen to be able to navigate through the rest of that game.
Kevin Padlow just hit a bomb in this inning. Did you ever wear 3 buttons unbuttoned on your jersey like he does?
Only if I was overweight and I just couldn't button the buttons. But no. My buttons were unbuttoned. They were unbuttoned more in the midsection.
Kevin, Randy Arozarena has really enjoyed himself with us today. Just had a birthday the other day. Has there been any change in his personality since his amazing October for this spring?
Not from what I've seen. And certainly you go into the spring training wondering, he probably had a pretty exciting off season and got a lot of hype, and rightfully so. But Randy's he comes in, he's always smiling. I asked him how his birthday went. And he said, my birthday's every day. That's a pretty good frame of mind to have, especially when you're in a big league ballpark playing every day, getting ready for spring training. And I think we're fortunate. We've got enough characters in this clubhouse that will keep him very in line if he decides to try to get out.
Well, his birthday's every day. That means he's very old.
Yeah.
Speaking of veterans, you got Rich Hill and Archer also on the roster. How have they looked so far in spring?
Good. They haven't come into any games. They just threw live BPs the other day. Kyle Snyder, our pitching coach, and Stan Borowski, our bullpen coach, they do such a good job of individualizing the buildup for guys. And with Arch and Rich, both felt like we could buy a little bit of time. So their next outings, I believe, will be in games. But they threw back-to-back the other day, and Kyle came out of it really, really excited. I think he said over the moon excited with where they looked in a 10-minute live BP session. They were able to land their breaking balls in the zone. The velocities were in check with what we were hoping for. I think Arch was right around that 94 mark, and Rich Hill can throw a curveball out of his back pocket whenever he wants.
Right. Because you have Wander Franco on your team, you tend to not pay attention or overlook some of the other great young players, prospects for baseball and Rays fans. Who are those guys?
Well, you're going to see him here. Brujan is coming in. Taylor Walls is in there. Padlow, Padlow that just hit the light tower power shot. And I'm glad you said that too, because I love all the hype, and we'll talk about Wander all day long. We got a really good shortstop that plays for us right now.
Right.
And Willie Adames is a stud. And you look at what he's done. I think he's 25 years old. You look at what Willie's done, his body of work in the American League East at competing at the highest level. There aren't many 25-year-olds that wouldn't sign up for the career that he's had to date, and he's only getting better. So the show he put on defensively in the postseason was remarkable. He led all that, and the energy that he brought, we're so fortunate to have him in our lineup every day.
I know you take a boat out. You also binge watch TV shows, and you have a great sense of humor because you laugh at or with Terry Francona. Do you binge any comedy shows? Are you like an Office guy, a Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Like, what makes you laugh?
I liked Office. I liked Office a lot, but no, I don't binge watch much shows. It's much more the suspense thrillers on Netflix, on Hulu, or whatever.
You're a Peaky Blinders guy.
Peaky Blinders, yeah. Well, I save the comedy for at the field. Got to try to keep it loose, so the comedy's at the field. How's that AC treating you guys right now?
I promise you, it's the only benefit. It's the only benefit.
No, I feel for you guys. And
it's 36 degrees where I am, Kevin.
You're doing it outside, Tim?
You're beautiful, Kevin. Thanks so much for being with us, man. We'll see you during the season. Thank you.